So first off,
5 minutes left in the third.
Yeah.
Waved off goal because of a distinct kicking motion. And
a kicking motion.
wow, did social media blow up.
Yeah. Everybody has an opinion. You don't talk to many people who are like, I don't know. Could go like, I don't know. People tend to be pretty opinionated on this one. Even our panel, Elliot, dug in that it was a good goal, which I really enjoyed.
We do not agree.
Yeah, they didn't agree last night on the panel with Kevin Bieksa. I sided with Kevin Bieksa.
You did?
I did.
I'm stunned. You know why actually I'm not stunned? Because you just know what makes good radio, and there's no way we were going to come in here and...
No.
Do you really think that should have been no goal?
I really believe that Coleman knew what he was doing with his left foot.
Yeah, I agree.
And pushed it forward. Now, as the way every fan has watched every goal be disallowed because of this distinct kicking motion, it did not have the same feel as the others. This one was much more subtle, subdued, whatever you want to say, quieter.
Yep.
But the motion is there. It's just not as distinct. Everybody's around the word distinct.
Yeah.
Which now should be no different than you got to be a complete moron to not think that was kicked in. That's the same as distinct now in the NHL terms.
Yeah, I guess.
And this one was not as prominent or as noticeable, but the elements were still there.
Yeah, I don't agree. You think of you think about all the elements of kicking for one. You just think about like a guy taking a free kick in soccer or a guy, punting the ball or something. That's obviously comical. That's not, I don't need to see that for it to be a kicking motion. But the league is making an effort to allow more goals. They don't want to wave off goals. That's not good, right? For the sport. They're allowing the redirections. You can intentionally redirect, angle the puck off your skate. We've seen it count a number of times. For me, the way that Coleman is going into the crease there, he's allowed to be in that area. One of his feet is tied up, so he's got the other one on the ice. He can make the claim he's stopping with it. I agree he, wants it to go off his skate and in. He definitely does. But you're allowed to want it to go in off your skate.
So can I share our timeline with everybody?
Yes.
And our conversation we had on...
you remember what I said?
What do we call it again?
What's up?
Yeah, what's up? Okay.
What's up?
So this was you at 12:13 Eastern.
Okay.
I think he probably means to put it in with his foot.
Yep.
And I had said at 12:18, JB is right. He meant to.
Yeah.
So how can you say what you just said and tell me that he meant to do what he did?
Yeah, he didn't mean to.
That's a kicking motion.
No, you're allowed to have intent.
You're allowed to have intent. The right foot's caught up in the pads of Smith.
So then in your estimation, he's balancing on the left leg and doing a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest to get it in?
No, but he's just naturally following through. Like
naturally.
The left foot is following a south to a north to push the puck in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's...
But he's going in that direction. Like he's headed that way. His body's heading that way.
But
if you're skating full speed and you do
he's not digging in to stop.
No, he's not. Because he's trying to hide he's
trying to hide, but he didn't hide it well enough.
Right. But the thing is, that's a lot of the panel had that argument about whether he meant to or not. There's no argument that he meant to. He didn't argue that he meant to. He said, maybe I don't understand the rule.
Yeah.
Here Daryl Sutter. We actually have clips on this. Would you like to hear what Daryl Sutter had to say?
I want you to finish.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if it's a called on the ice, a kick, and they say no goal immediately, I completely understand them going with that ruling. But to have in that spot, that close a call, it's not distinctive enough. It's not clear enough to me to make the call to overturn it in such a massive spot.
Another good point.
That's the part to me. Like, I think you can argue that, sure, maybe it was a kick, maybe he did, like his skate was on the ice, but the fact that it was called a goal on the ice to me should have been the determining factor. It was way too close to overturn it.
but this is also not just the officials. There are guys in Toronto that are paid to help the officials come to a conclusion. And between, I guess, that department of Coley Campbell, Chris King, Mike Murphy, Kay Whitmore, I don't know who else I'm missing, Rod Plasma. Like, we're talking about guys that have been around the game for 30 years and probably within all of them, maybe 3,000 games. Like,
but the rule has changed so much over the past few years, even.
If anybody knows what maybe is going through someone's mind in that situation and what they're capable of doing and not capable of doing, this is where these guys are paid.
Yeah.
And I get
and
it,
just
Sammy.
Like refs are paid to referee, they get it wrong sometimes.
It's not necessarily like 100%. There are now, as we've seen on many instances, a 50-50 call. And yeah, maybe that one was a 50-50 call.
Yeah.
But they're still paid to make a decision here, and they made it.
The other thing that gets me, and this is so this is not an argument for or against the call so much as the referees are on the ice to referee the game. They're not, trying to impact it. They want the game to play out, stay out of the way, and just kind of steer the game, right? That puck's going in the net. And I know it doesn't. It's not a reason to make the call.
I hate hearing that as well.
For me, were I making the decision and I were 50-50, that it's kind of, I know it's not supposed to, but I'm telling you how I would call it.
Cannot make my decision just based on, I think it was going to go in anyway.
I agree. You cannot. You've
seen pucks rotate and spin and hit crazy bounces. You don't know whether that thing was going to go in, and you don't know whether or not Mike Smith could reach over and get it.
You're right. But there's that little part of me that were I Coley Campbell or whoever had some say in that decision, I would go, boy, if you're looking at a tiebreaker, though, that's part of it for me. The call on the ice is part of it for me.
Here's the big thing. Now Flames fans can always have something to look back on, right? They're like, they're getting the crap kicked out of them in this series. Like, this was not,
I wrote about that series today, and I barely mentioned the kick-in.
So,
because they're in that spot.
This is such a small factor in the series. Like, I know, that's a go-ahead goal. Maybe they win, but they're not beating McDavid 3 games in a row anyway. But now Flame fans can be like, if we hadn't been jobbed by Wes McCauley, we would have beat them. Like, they were done anyway. That's another part of this to me.
Everything that we've seen in the playoffs about no leads are safe and momentum switching and Leafs up 3-1 against Montreal last year. You're going to tell me that definitively,
yes,
that
definitive.
Yeah. See,
I'm with Kyper here.
No. This is a crazy game, and crazy things can happen. And
I'm not even sure they would have held the lead till overtime.
I get what you're saying. Up until this point, domination in every facets of the game. Edmonton checked all the boxes, but in the crazy world of sports, sometimes you just need a little bit of a
spark, right?
A spark, and things can change in an awful quick hurry.
Yeah, you got to get one more in Edmonton. Then you get to come back home to Calgary for Game 7. You're the better team for the bulk of the season. You got the goalie that you think is supposed to be the better goalie.
But that was as close of a 50-50 call as you can get.